Hi, hello everybody. Let me see if I can figure out how to work this camera here. Let me flip it around. There we go. Hello, hi. It's Darren from Eastern Woodland Art. I was trying to figure out TikTok, still can't figure it out, but eventually, I guess I'll become somewhat tech savvy as I get older. Welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time and stopping by tonight. I am going to be describing some of the artwork. Sorry, I'm shaking a lot here. I'm going to be describing several of my original pieces in stories tonight, and I'm hopefully I'll keep you about an hour. You might, if anybody's out there listening, you might have to message me to tell me to stop. Sometimes I get carried away with the stories and ramble on. So, like I am now. So I want to feature a couple of pieces of artwork in particular because they're probably not going to be here very much longer. I'm working on selling them, and hopefully the deal works out, not falls through, but falls together. Anyway, we'll see in the next few days. So thank you again. I'm just gonna set you down, and my wife got me a selfie stick, so I'm gonna set up the camera over here, and I'm just gonna stand back and just give me a second here. Technology is good. It is really. It's just for some reason one of the things that we don't get along with. Hang on. There we go. Jeez. Sorry about that. All right. Straighten out. Wait. Oh, technical difficulties. Oh, the things that happen when you're live. Okay. Now, hopefully this works. Let's see. There we go. Hello again. Thank you for joining me tonight. Eastern Woodland Art. This is one of the my favorite pieces of artwork. Her name is Woman in the Water, and she's just she's absolutely gorgeous. She came to me as a single lady. Hang on, I'm gonna try to make this easy on myself here. She came to me as a single lady in February 2019. Hang on, I'll show her to you. So that's what she looked like originally. She was those two pieces of white ash, and her story, "Woman in the Water," is about letting things go, and then rising to the top as a result. She's about buoyancy, not just physically, because we float in water under normal circumstances. But it's also in reference now as I age. It's also in reference to our spirits, right? Our souls, and how they're also buoyant, and we just have to let shit go, like she did, and then we'll naturally rise above all that crap. So that's what her story was about. She was a single lady for about 2 years, and then that's when her partner, her mate, arrived, and I'll get him here. Just hang on, let me put this print down. So in December 2020, so just over a year ago, this guy showed up. This is the male half, or the male energy in this particular piece of artwork, and it essentially the male half. See his colors. He's got a lot of browns and purples in him. Those are the colors of healing. The bruises, right? Bruises when you get hurt, when you get physically injured. Those are the colors you would see, and that's what he's either been injured and gone through the healing process. Or he's in that process now, or he's done and he's better now, I think. Anyway, the cool thing, I guess, about these two pieces, this one, it was February 2019, and this one was December 2020, so almost 2 years apart. And yet when you put them together like this, you can see that their grain almost lines up perfectly. I know. It's pretty cool. Like they were mates and they were split apart and now they're back together. Right? Kind of neat. Anyway, that's their story. Woman in the Water. Let's see. Gotta set her up here. Actually, I gotta take her down. I gotta take her down because I'm gonna be... No, she's actually a nice backdrop. So I'm gonna leave her up here. Ugh. Oops. All right. Oh, here, I want to show you this one too. This is kind of cool. This is another chunk of artwork. This is Looking for a Sign. This is my label. This is like a Eastern woodland art. This is an Eastern style sunrise, and in here are my initials. So that's kind of like my brand. Anyway, moving on. Okay, this is one of the early guys that I worked on. His name is Misquadesi, or the Painted Turtle, and he's in the Anishinaabe legends. The turtle, it's a turtle who carries the earth upon his back. You okay? All right. So this is the earth. This is the turtle. You can sort of see him down there at the bottom. He's kind of got his head up like this, and you can see those circular objects on his shell are the moons, and then right at the top is there's the 13th moon. So there's 13 moons represented on this chunk of ash, and this is a heavy chunk of wood. This is 55 pounds. You see how thick that is? That's thick. And anyway, this guy is really picky. He only wants to work in April, and if we don't get to work in April, then I have to wait. So he only works in April. So hopefully this April I'll be able to get around to him. I've got some new carving tools. I'm going to carve out the backside here, right? Make it look really nice. Hopefully. All right, turtle down. Okay. All right, so next to the turtle, we have this piece. This piece here is called Winter's Retreat. On my right, this side, right here, this is the male, the square features. This is the male half. Oops. And over here, the curvy female half. This is the spirit of the north wind. Giwedinum. They're the spirits of the north wind. And they're like an old couple, a wise old couple, right? And in the old stories, they became power hungry. They were given more power than the other elements, and so they created this ice age, and it's towards the end of the ice age that this is a snapshot where this story comes from. And what's happening is that Nanabujo has tricked them, and they're melting, and there's all sorts of things going on. So as she's melting, her water is mixing with his earth, And essentially what's happening is that spring is happening up here. So all the flowers are coming up. So that's talking about the cycle, the changing of the seasons from winter through summer, or through spring and into summer. Okay, so that's what this particular piece is about. Now, if I get back far enough without crashing into anything, you turn it this way, and then this it becomes a caribou. Now, let's see. So you can see the eye, I think, is around here. That purple space, that's the eye, and then you'll see the nose up here, and then these become the antlers. She becomes the antlers to this caribou. I don't know. I gotta get out of the way. So hopefully you can see that. You'll have to look at a picture of a caribou. Google a picture of a caribou, and then try to remember what this looked like. So this is Winter's Retreat, and these guys are gorgeous. Yeah. Next. Next one. This piece followed Winter's Retreat. So actually it was before Winter's Retreat. This one is called A View of the Sun from a Moon of Uranus. And that's what they look like. So in the center, somewhere in the center, there's a small brass nail, and that represents the sun, and roughly what the sun might look like if your perspective is standing on a moon of the planet Uranus, right? So this is what you're seeing here, but it's also like a play on words or a pun or whatever rhetorical device they use in English to describe that action. This is actually about 7 old friends getting together and thinking about mortality and what lies beyond. It's a beautiful piece, ink on ash. This is the very first piece where I included these little chunks of copper, and I guess that's a good segue into some of the media, I guess, or the things that I use in my artwork, and I'll show you that coming right up. Hang on. A View of the Sun from a Moon of Uranus. Okay, so I work with ash. So here's a nice chunk of ash right here. There's a little bit of water stain, but you can see the beautiful grains and the detail, right, of the grain here. We flip it back over. There are some more. Wait a second. This one has a really complicated. Oh, here we go. This one has a beautiful little complex pattern here. You can see all sorts of things going on here, right? Aside from the stains, but all sorts of cool things going on here. So this is usually, it's always how I start with my piece of artwork. The information, the stories that they tell, they're here. They've always been here. It's just I'm like a record player, like an old record player, you know, had the needle on the arm, and I just translate the information that's in there. So this is Eastern White Ash. So this is what I begin with. I follow up. Oops, sorry. We'll get to that one in a minute. So the other thing that I wanted to show you was the copper, the cool copper bits that I've got here. So a lot of my artwork lately, my more recent artwork, includes these little copper gaskets. These are all things that I've picked up at the salvage yard in Prince George. The last time I was there, some copper wire you know, to especially for her. She's got a lot of these copper pins in her and hooks and things like that. But the coolest part are these little, they're like, I don't know what they are. They're just like these really thick copper ingots. They're obviously pressed or drilled out of something, and these are quite substantial though. These are probably, you know, like 20 grams, like quite heavy, substantial chunks of copper. And so what I do is there's 4 different sizes. I've only got maybe 100 pieces of these left, but and I'd like to find out where they come from. So if you have any idea as to where these might have been punched out from, turn it sideways here. It looks like an electrical panel of some sort, and they're trying to feed something through, or perhaps. But anyway, this is what I use in my artwork. I'll polish up these pieces. And then I'll either leave them polished and then they'll patina over time so that they'll take on that bluish color. So she's got some of those natural copper like in her hips here. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'll have to bring it closer later. But she's got copper in her hips with a natural or clean finish, as opposed to some of the other pieces. Some of the other copper, I'll put a little drop of ink, and that'll really brighten things up. I'm gonna turn the overhead light on. It to me it looks ugly, but I didn't think it was gonna be this dim or this dark in here. Okay, does that work a little better, or is there too much shadow? No, I'll have to stay back here, but that's okay, because I'll introduce you to a few more other pieces of artwork here. Some of them are big and bulky and heavy, and because they're made of big chunks of wood. So I'll probably grab the camera and then press the button and flip you over so you can see what I'm seeing. But we're going to go around the room, and I'm going to introduce you to just a few more pieces of artwork. And knowing that this is probably the last time that a lot of them will be together, I'm hoping, like I said, to be able to make a couple of sales. I will be in Vancouver next week on January 5th, on Wednesday. If you find yourself looking for something to do and you're in Vancouver, there's a place called the Pacific Arts Market, which is on West Hastings? No, Broadway, I believe. Yes, Broadway. And I'm going to be setting up a piece called Menido Mikan. And I'm going to tell you all about there's 4 pieces that go together here, and I'll tell you all about them shortly. But before that, let's get to these guys. That's kind of like the main course. So these are little appetizers here that I'm going to show you, just quick and dirty facts. Okay, so I'm going to grab you here, and we're going to flip you over. If I can flip you over, how can I flip you over? Here we go. Hang on. Okay, so some of the other controversial pieces of artwork that I've got. Well, I guess it all started with this guy here. This piece is called My Sacrifice, and they showed up in June 24th. Yeah, June 24th in 2020. So roughly about a year before the discoveries, if you want to call them discoveries, the notifications or the confirmation about the bodies in Kamloops at the residential school there. So My Sacrifice, it's about the sacrifice. Wait, let me move my ink and my copper. Those are the other things that I use in my artwork: ink and copper. But if you look at this piece, My Sacrifice, and you see who's really made the sacrifice here, right? So about a year later, that's when this guy showed up. Indian Bones and the Residential School of Doom, right? That's it's a play. I guess I remember when I was growing up, the Indiana Jones trilogy, and the second episode was about Indy saving a bunch of Indian kids from some evil overlord, and in this case, though, in Canada, that didn't happen, right? So the kids were taken away, but they were never returned, or a lot of them weren't returned. Now, I want to pay particular attention to this guy up here. This guy is a big heavy chunk of ash. He's one of the early pieces. He kind of hangs around with the turtle over here. There's the turtle. This is what Sitting Bull saw, and this is, if you look up Sitting Bull, he was a plains chief who fought the American army, and he escaped into Canada, and the Canadian government under Macdonald starved him back into the States, and then he was captured. So anyway, Chief Sitting Bull, Plains Sioux chief and visionary, and this is him, but you're standing behind him. In that picture, you're standing behind him, and you can tell he's a powerful chief because of the penis and the testicles here, the phallic symbol. That's power. That's no matter what culture you're in, that represents power, and he was a powerful chief. Anyway, his vision is that he's looking into the future, and he sees good things. He sees good things for his people. You can see the village down there along the bottom, all the teepees, right? And then he sees good things for his people. So this is I guess a message of hope, right? For people that good things are on the horizon. There's this lovely lady here. Oh, let me bring her up. Her name is female, and the Fe is the chemical formula for iron, and so that's what she's emphasizing in her name, or her name. Yes, her name. The title female, but emphasis on the Fe, iron. So like an iron woman, a strong woman, kind of thing. She's her other elements are H2O. She as represented by the copper bits here, right? The water flowing through her body, and copper as well. So Fe, Cu, and H2O are her elements. She has the power of creation, right? So there you can see it looks like an embryo or something in around here. This is a stone from Lake Superior, one of these polished wave and sand polished stones from Lake Superior. The stone popped out of the navel. I held it there with wax, and it got too cold, and everything contracted. So anyway, I'll have to set that back up. But the noisy guy was this guy here. When he fell over, and she sits opposite. She sits opposite this guy. I think what she is doing is more or less telling this guy that bullshit, right? That this is the patriarchy. Sorry, this is the patriarchy, and this is strong woman. Right, so just totally opposite the patriarchy. And one good thing about, I just slide this guy over. Okay, slide that guy over. One good thing about this girl is that she has attitude. So if you don't like, if you don't like anything about her, if you don't like the way she is, you don't like how she handles herself, you can kiss her ass, right? That's her statement. Let me set her off to the side here and set her down and I'll back up so you can see. So this is the backside. That's her backside. Right. So female, Female. This lady down here, her name is Enewasco Nedmaged. When you translate it to English, it's I'm the one who lights the way. Now she showed up in June after this gang here showed up. Now she showed up in June, and the story that she told me was that you can see. I don't know if you can see her. This is her. It's a silhouette, and she's wearing this robe, and all of these little things that look like little designs and things like that. These are actually souls or spirits who are lost. And what she does is she goes along, she goes into those dark spaces, and she sings to them and brings them home, leads them home. I'm the one who lights the way. Interesting. She is there's women have pointed this out, that she appears pregnant, and I think that's what she carries within her. She carries that light within her, and that's what these dark things are attracted to. And the other part of her story is that she's the one who paints all of those. When you go, the next time you go out in summer, and really be mindful and pay attention to all of the little tiny things in the sidewalk. You're walking along the sidewalk, and you look along the cracks of the sidewalk. You'll see that there's plants growing there, right? And in those plants are little tiny flowers, probably 2 or 3 millimeters across. You can hardly see them, but they're there. They're tiny. They're beautiful. And she's the one who paints those flowers. So that's what she does. Is when she draws these dark things out, she also paints the flowers. So that's her. Ene wasko ned maged. I'm the one who lights the way. All right, up here, this is, oh my goodness. Hi, I'm back. I don't know what happened, but I think I might have hit the wrong button. Anyway, I am, this piece just blows my mind every time I look at it or I think about it. This guy, his name is wait, I gotta go in order. Wait, back up, hold on, we gotta go in order. This is the first of a particular set of pieces. Let's see, where can I put this guy? I'll just leave him there. His name is Chris's Eagle Feather, and if you look down along the bottom, you can see, hopefully you can see, there's an eagle feather, a pink eagle feather down the center, and then it's surrounded by all these little spiky things, and all these little spiky things are actually people. People are standing around, and they've got their hands up, and they're celebrating. They're celebrating this person's life. They're honoring his life and his existence. He was a good man, and he stayed on that journey. Right. That's what the eagle feather teaching, one of them, is about staying on that straight and narrow path down the center of the feather. So this is Chris's Eagle Feather. This guy showed up in probably mid-November, December 2019, I think it was. Yeah, 2019. So he is the top half, or a part of this guy here. So he was the, see that end? Used to go like this. They were once 1 6-foot piece, and I cut them in half. And this is Chris's Eagle Feather. And this is Manido Mikan, or Spirit Path. Now, Spirit Path, when it's flipped this way, so the blue pins are in the base. There's orange pins on one side, blue pins on the other side. When the blue pins are in, he is the keeper of the western door, and you can see him standing here. You can see his visor, his eyes, the third eye, his helmet. He's got a shield, but it's down. Right? He's not in a defensive position, and over in his I guess it's his left hand, he's holding this lance or this spear. He's the keeper of the western door. He's only there to let you know that once you're past him, when you see him, and he'll give you that nod, and suddenly you'll reconnect with the rest of the spirit, I guess. I don't know. You'll reconnect, and you'll suddenly become aware of everything that we're not aware of now, because those things are hidden from us when we move from the spirit world to the physical world. Anyway, more about that later. So let's see. So we had Chris's eagle feather, and Chris's eagle feather was mates to Manitou Mikan, and Manitou Mikan, or spirit path. When this is inverted or upside down, or set up the other way, this becomes a village. Wait a second, I might have a print here. I might have a print floating around. No. When this guy is inverted, there's a village, and these little things here, these little sperm-like projections, those are the spirits. And what they do is at sunset, they follow this path that lights up into the setting sun, and then they go to this place here, Manitou Mikan. Manitou Mikan, spirit, or sorry, Nanabujo Mikan. Nanabujo's path, or Nanabujo way. In the Anishinaabe belief system, the Nanabujo Mikan is the Milky Way. You call it the Milky Way, or other people call it the Milky Way. And this is also the view from my hotel room, called the View Hotel in Fort St. James, BC. So when I opened up the curtains, that's why I set it up here in front of my window. It was like I went and I opened up the curtains, and this is what I saw. It was really cool. It was really cool because people see faces. So there's this face that appears to be looking back at you, and I'm not sure if it's it looks like a benevolent face. I didn't know it was there. I didn't see it. And then the other day, or more recently, somebody pointed out the bear right here. And there's the bear looking back. And the knot, that was the central feature of this whole piece. The knot becomes the nostrils, like the nose of the bear. And so you can see the eyes of the bear, and then the nose. And it's just like every time I look at this piece, it just like blows my mind. It's amazing. It's incredible. It's incredible. I didn't know that was there. Anyway, moving on. One more. I think I'm going to do one more. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. Now a couple more. So this one is a recent arrival. October 2020. No, 2021. October 2021. This is called Mickey Moose and the Firebird, and over here, down here, when I first started working on him, there was this arrangement of holes in the wood that I lined up into this pattern. And so what I did was I took that pattern and then I extended it, and I set these pieces of copper in according to that pattern. So I took that pattern and then extended the pattern and included that pattern in the artwork. And these are actually, like, when I step out my back porch, I can see constellations that are similar. I'm not saying that they are constellations, but they're pretty gosh darn close, and that's pretty good for, or pretty cool for, just a random pattern of holes in 3 chunks of wood, and then for them to align themselves like a constellation. I don't know. Strange things. Okay, let's see. Some of the summer stuff. My uncle passed away in the summer on July 4th. And this is him on his boat heading into the west, into the sunset. This is a friend's place, Sudsy's Dock. and this is called The Moon over Sudsy's Camp. Here's another piece of artwork that I did in June, not long after the revelations of the church were revealed. This is Vanna Black and Critical Mass Graves. You can see the board, the letter board in the background, and how its light is penetrating the earth, revealing her hidden little secrets that she's got stashed away there. And the reason why she's grinning like that, she's kind of like got a little evil grin. She's grinning like that because somebody called out the letter S. Can I take an S, Pat? And she went up and she went MASS, and then she just touched that last S in Graves to make it plural. So that's what she's grinning about. She's proud of that. Anyway, okay, so these are this is the here, I'll flip you back around. Hang on. Hi. First of all, thank you so much for taking the time to join tonight. I tried to set up on TikTok, but it didn't work out. I've got to work on the technology, right? I got to learn. That's probably a New Year's resolution for me to learn how to use these technical devices so I can actually do something with them. What I want to do is I want to finish up the live broadcast tonight. I'm gonna shut off the white lights. And then we're going to go around and I'll reintroduce you to each of those artworks, and we'll take a quick look at what these artworks look like under blacklight. I have one more large piece. Her name is The Descent of Anishinaabe Akwe. She is 6x6 or 2 meters by 2 meters, and just takes up too much space in the room for everybody else. So I'm just going to remind you that if you want more information about her, you could probably go back in some of my posts here on Instagram, and you could probably find out more information about her there. But she's here in the room. She's just stacked up in the corner right now. I'm going to go through really quickly with some of the final little bits of artwork, and let me know what you think. Let's see. We're just going to shut the lights off here. Okay, that's it. All right, so I'm gonna flip you back around. All right, so let's go back. Oh, there's Mickey Mouse and the Firebird. So you can see how the Firebird fluoresces. And who else have we got here? Critical Mass Graves. It fluoresces a little bit to some extent. And there is... This is Moon over Sudsy's Camp. And that's probably what it would look like. What it would look like a full moon in June. Winter's Retreat. So Winter's Retreat lights up as well. You can see the flowers up in the top part of that piece. And then, there's my brand or my sign, Eastern Woodland Art. Over here in the corner is the painted turtle, Misquadesi. Fluoresces quite nicely. Sorry, I'm just going to switch it back now. Up here is My Sacrifice. And it's not supposed to. It's not intended. That's not one of the cool things, I guess. It's not supposed to fluoresce, but it does. In that, what is supposed to be a stained glass window, in behind Jesus on the hilt of the sword there. Now we see this guy here. This is what Sitting Bull saw. And hopefully without too much glare. Yeah, see some of the artwork is done in like a plastic finish, and so there's a lot of glare, but you could see like I don't know, it's a moon of some sort and something going on there, I'm not sure. But then there's Ene Wasko Ned Moged, and she's there, and she's lighting the way and drawing out all of these dark things, dark spirits. I'm going to bring you over here. Let's see if this will. See if this will work. Here we go. So this is the backside of Manitou Weekend, and this is called Sunset in Fort St. James. And it's just a lovely, lovely, lovely piece of artwork. And finally, this guy here. This guy here is my favorite. It's gotta be my favorite. This is Nanabuju Mikan. And it feels like I'm there. It feels like I'm standing back in that hotel room, looking out that window, and seeing, I guess, what I saw, and it's just so cool when you look and you see, this face, or I don't know if you can see the bear under. Without the white light, but there's the bear, and then the face, and then the town below, and the reflection of the town's lights in the freezing lake. Anyway, I'm gonna flip you back over. All right, hi. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much. Happy New Year. I honestly wish you all the best. We've had a rough couple of years. Lots of time for reflection, lots of time for thinking, soul searching. Hopefully you find good things there, right? And if not, then this year, let's get it done. Let's look after ourselves, take care of each other. All right. Love you guys. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate all the things that you've done to help me in this past year. Thank you so much, and Merry Christmas, Merry New Year, Happy New Year, and take care. Thanks for coming out tonight. Bye for now.